Hey guys, it's Adam with Unleashed Wargaming. I know it's been a while, but I haven't done anything in a while. So, anyway, first off, I realized it was brought to my attention, and I realized that I've never put a picture of myself or my wife up onto the battle reports that I do. So, here's one. This is my wife and I, my beautiful wife and I, and that might be the only time I ever put a picture of us up. So. Anyway, moving on. Age of Sigmar lost my interest real quick. I had decided when it came out I was going to push it. I was going to play it, do it well, make the stories, do the campaigns. I never was crazy about playing through the books because I'm the kind of guy I write. I'm constantly thinking up scenarios, novels, all sorts of things, and I'm always working on it. And so I would make my own, come up with my own themes, my own stories. That's one of the things that was somewhat robbed from me with Age of Sigmar, because I made my armies match my themes. I made the magic items, my characters, everything match the themes, whether it was good gameplay or not. I was more interested in the story. And they took all that customizing away from the characters and all that, so it kind of killed that for me. And really the main thing is it took a long time to even get a game because everyone here quit. Everybody here quit. And I have no one playing. I mean, everyone that was playing before dropped it, threw their armies out, or sold them. They didn't throw them away. Some people just packed them away on shelves. My buddy and I together, I guess, we have one or two duplicates, but we have like 14 armies between the two of us, and they're just sitting now collecting dust. Age of Sigmar killed it for us. There's only a few people playing that I know of, and they're all new to the game. They just bought into it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing those people, but it's sort of like starting all over. And after 21 years of playing, really with some of the same people starting over, just kind of it just wasn't any good. So Games Workshop, sorry, I was opening the blinds. Games Workshop called me. I put up a video of them wanting me to open a store still, and I told them the same thing, and they sent me some books and some papers and some ideas that was coming up. What they said was they were opening up customization and comp ideas. When I get these books, which I think they're both up for sale now, but then the books were nothing but more stories, not real comp for just, hey, let's sit down and play a game. It was more scenarios, not any kind of comp. And then the papers that they sent me, ideas and things, were play a game, and if you win, you get to choose one of these 3 items for your general, or your army wide even. Some of them didn't even go on a character. And then if your opponent loses, or the loser gets to choose from this other list. And so again, it wasn't, you have to play through an entire game and then hope your opponent wants to continue on some sort of story base. Just the only difference really, other than the story, the only difference would be he got to pick one of 3 items to use during the game. So again, it seems very micromanaged to me by Games Workshop. And I know that's weird, considering they remove all the rules, and then I think it's micromanaged, but it seems like they took away everything that you do other than roll dice. And that's why I see micromanaging as Games Workshop said, no, you're going to play our stories. You're going to use our models, of course, and that's fine. They're great models. But you're going to play it our way. You're going to use our generals and our heroes and our units, and they're going to have the same abilities every time, and you're not going to get to choose anything except which ones you put on the field. So that kind of hurt. But nothing new from them. That's why I didn't put up another video. It was some ideas that they sent me that might be coming up, but nothing about what they said they were going to do. Moving on from there, I decided to see if I could think up a fair comp, because everybody's saying, oh, just limit the number of war scrolls. Well, if I say 3 war scrolls and you come up with 3 flights of dragons and I come up with 3 20-man units of night goblins, well, that's not comp. I just got crushed by one of your war scrolls, my entire army, and so I was thinking about it, and I came up with this comp idea. And tell me, I know half the people that hear this are going to go, oh, you're just trying to change it, and no one's going to do that, and let go, and all this kind of stuff. And if that's how you feel, you can comment, but you're not going to change my mind. So keep it friendly at least. If you want to play balanced games, and when I say balanced, I mean to where you know that when you meet me at the game store, we didn't have to talk it out and all that stuff to figure out we're going to have a pretty evenly matched game, or at least a similar sized army. All right, we're not talking about core, special, and rare slots. We're talking about we're going to show up with a similarly sized army. I'm not going to show up with 10 models hoping for a skirmish, and you're going to show up with 200 models hoping for a big game and go to sudden death and that garbage. We're not talking about that. We're saying I'm saying we'll take away from 8th edition all the core, special, and rare, and all the limited how many of each you can take. Stop all that. Play Age of Sigmar with the only exceptions that you use point values from 8th edition. Now that doesn't mean you can't take 6 dragons if you want to, because we got rid of all the slots. So let's say you take 6 dragons. Well, if you decided you're going to play a 3,000 point game with somebody, you got to make sure you can fit 6 dragons in there. I'm not saying you have to have a general. You don't have to have any of these things. But you show up, you take whatever models you want, just like Age of Sigmar offers. But to keep up with how big your force is getting, you look at your points. So, your opponent could say, I'm taking high elves and I'm going to take 3 units of dragon princes and a lord and then a dragon with a character on the back, and have my themed army as the dragon thing, Calidor or whatever. And he could do that, but let's say you're playing a 3,000 point game, he gets to 3,000 and he stops. And then you're playing night goblins. Well, you could fit a ton of goblins in there, or you could go with nothing but Arachnaroks, and you could take whatever models you wanted from whatever book you wanted. It doesn't even have to be the same book. Everything Age of Sigmar, all the rules, everything Age of Sigmar, except you just use the points from your 8th edition books to keep you balanced, to make sure you don't take 3,000 points worth of models more than your opponent. Number 2, that would be step 1, I think, if you really wanted to find a way to play with your group balanced with some comp, but not really comp, is characters. It would be very easy to take your character from Age of Sigmar, drop whatever special rule they gave him, or whatever equipment they gave him, not special rule. If they say, oh, your character comes with this sword, okay, forget that. Take your 100 points or so that was allowed in 8th edition and buy magic items out of your book from 8th edition. You're still playing Age of Sigmar. You still got to roll to hit and to wound the same way and all that. But if you want the character customizing, you can go in there and buy you a couple items plus 1 to hit and killing blow, that kind of thing, which I guess is mortal wounds now. You'd have to change the lingo. But if you wanted that character customization, you could do that. And maybe you have to look through your book, because if your character takes something that's flammable, well, clearly you're not going to have flammable targets because that's not a rule anymore. But you could go through and pick some of the items from your books. 1 wound converts to 2 wounds, things like that, and you could actually make your character a little customizable. It would have to be in a group basis. It's not something that could go worldwide or anything like that for tournaments and all, but let me know what you think, because we're going to try it out. We're going to try it and see if it makes it playable, because right now what we have now, it just isn't playable. Even when I played with my wife, we tried to play and have a good time, and first game I accidentally took too much stuff not purposefully, but there's no points, and so I'm just trying to guess what does what because all their rules are changed, and we start playing, and I'm just like steamrolling her. That wasn't fun. The second time I took Bretonians, which has a low model count, so she kind of beefed up her forces over there, and she outnumbered me huge and just demolished me. And it didn't really come down to the strategy that is involved in Age of Sigmar. It came down with us not knowing the strengths, and even though we were trying to play balanced games, it just wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, we had fun because we talked and we laughed, but the game wasn't fun at all. We could have done that watching TV or taking a walk. But anyway, let me know what you think. If you see flaws, I mean, I don't care if you're going to type, I think you're stupid and your ideas are stupid. You can just save that for yourself. But if you see flaws in the idea of why it wouldn't work, not why you think it's dumb, throw them in the comments. If you think it's a good idea and you want to add to it, if you see something else that maybe I overlooked that could kind of help balance out two forces to have a fair game, throw that in there too. Because after 21 years, I want to play this game. I love fantasy. I still look at the models. I still paint. By the way, the commissions have slowed down. I've taken on some other work. I own 2 businesses, and I do commission stuff as well. And now I'm an apprentice blacksmith as well. I took that up as a side hobby, and I travel all over to different forge masters, learning from them. So my stuff has slowed down, but I'm still doing it. I'm a little more picky, picking and choosing what I do for commissions. But they're still working. If I have one of your projects, it's still coming. It's going to be, I'm wrapping them all up. So they're all coming together. But, yeah, let me know what you think. Because I want this to remain a hobby. I don't want to go to 40K. Never have wanted to. So let me know what you think. And throw some ideas in there also if you got them. Because I'm willing to entertain anything to keep the game going. But, that's it for now. The channel is not gone. It may be dead because I'm not putting up content enough, but it's not gone. And if I can find something to re-spark my interest, I'll be back in it full swing. Thanks, and hope you enjoyed it.